Good evening all, Airbus Cockpit Coach here, and welcome back to New Zealand, where we're taking the Fenix A320 IAE rear world ops back from Queenstown up to Wellington. So the return leg of the trip we made the other day. We're going to be doing this one on VATSIM, so just getting that fired up. If there's any VATSIM traffic around this time of day, but we'll connect up, get going with that. So I'll take a look at our VATS pipe, that one, that going. See what's down in the New Zealand neck of the woods. Very little. I think it's just... oh, there's another airplane around. Going to be the only other airplane in New Zealand operating, but we'll give it a go. See what turns up. So I have adjusted the time of day slightly, so we've got the better light for the scenery. So just checking that, we got the ATC on for that. Excellent. Okay, so yeah, we are now live in VATSIM as well in Queenstown, and we'll get loaded up. We'll jump in and we'll take a look at the flight plan for this one. Okay, we'll do our checks. So masters. Throttles, gear lever, wipers, voltages, good. Nice bit of sun glare coming through. The warning computers. The oxygen. $3,000 in the box for now. I don't think we've got any ATC online, so we're on Unicom, which we got tuned. Wait for the computers. We can bring in the flight plan, which is correct. And we'll see if GSX helping us out, organising the see if it wants to load us or not. Yep, it's doing its thing by the looks of it. So we're planning for 131 passengers, 1.2 tonnes of cargo, and 6.6 tonnes of fuel for this one. And we'll adjust the APU now. Engine 1. Engine 2. Excellent. Good checks there. And I'll get the APU fired up now. Ground temperature is actually 0 here at the moment, so it's cold. Cold down here in New Zealand. Just have a quick look outside, making sure GSX is doing its thing. Here comes our fuel. Excellent. And passengers are on their way. We're good to go. Looking. People are doing their thing. Excellent. Alright, RH Milky Boy back at it again. I haven't looked up the chinchillas yet, but you gave a good bit of info on the chinchillas last time, so all good on that one. let's have a look at the OFP, Operational Flight Plan. Get briefed up. So we're operating as New Zealand 604 today. I haven't got the flight plan in my usual operators format today, so it's thrown me out a little bit. It's cost index of 5. 6.6 tons, as we've already seen, and we've got Auckland is the destination alternate, so shy 1.2 for that. Provider 0 fuel weight. Okay, let's check our weathers. Wrong part of the world for the weather, isn't it? Strange, isn't it? Throwing that.
Passengers bus is coming.
Wonder why we've got a New Zealand flight, but European weather. Not very helpful, is it? I've never seen that before. I might just fire up my own Navigraph and see what we've got. Double check that. Getting runway 5 for departure today, so which is the opposite direction out to what we flew in the other day. We'll pick that up. We can pick it up here for weather. So we got 040 at 9 knots, good visibility, no cloud. Temperature is 0 and dew point -3. 1005 here, which we've got set 3 times. And aerodrome altitude, so we bring up our charts for this. Right, do we need a night chart? Maybe not. Right. Airport elevation 1171. Yep, that's spot on there. Obviously we're not at the reference point, but excellent, that checks. That starred. And departure routing today. The ANPOV 4 Alpha. Can find that. R&P departure. No doubt be interesting. So, zoom in on this a bit as well. Starting runway 5 then. So transition altitude is 13,000. We require RMP 0.3 or lower to Mitux. So we're going to loop around the airport off at 12,000 feet. So check the video out on RMP approach, by the way. That will help you somewhat in understanding what we need to do here. So do not use one for navigation. Required. Yep. Operator speed restrictions may apply. Caution aerodrome surrounded by mountainous terrain. VFR traffic won't be on today. For operators with RMPAR approval only. So we touched on that in the video as well the other day. So it's authorization required. Departure not fully contained in controlled airspace if unable to cross QN 849 at or above 6,000. UN 849, which is here, We need to be above 6,000 at that point. We've got climb gradients to meet. We can check box. We'll get that box set up now. Takeoff status, nav database and date, and Air New Zealand, so New Zealand 604, cost index today is 5, and where are we cruising today? Let's have a look. B3, that's 330 to the diversion. I may just go and see if I can get hold of a flight plan in with the weather. So we got that. Right, next thing to do. Out departure in. 05. APA 4 Alpha. Aircraft loaded. R4 Alpha. Alpha. Box inserts. And arrival for Wellington will be the orders 6 Alpha. And the runway is .34, I think we want. Yep. Let's check that on the way anyway. Right. So key thing is now to cross-check the the RMP departure. So out and runway heading 053 to QN 843, max speed. Next waypoint 195, UN843, 160, UN846, 86. Let's have a look. So no, we're not there. We're QN846, 849 above 6,000. Yep, plus 6. 852 to Limac, max 180 between 6. 5 and 11,000. Lemac plus 6.5. We've got both in there. Yeah. And 11. The Metux is where we need to be above 6,000 to be in controlled airspace. We are above 12. Sorry, below 12, was it? Yeah. Below 12, so yeah. And then we're on to Timjo Dopke Greta. Okay. Out that way. At 4 is not in there, is it? No, is it? Interesting. So I've got Anpov at 4. Missing out that one. Yeah, we'll find that altitude. Really conscious getting out the terrain. So very interesting RMP departure. So looping round to obviously climb the aircraft before we head out across the terrain. So initial we'll put 12,000, so below transitions 13,000, so we'll put 12,000 in as the initial stop climb for this one. Quite an interesting departure, this one. So that's the route in. So engine failure for this one, we'll look to, we should be able to meet the climb gradient, so we'll look to stay on the departure. That keeps us clear of terrain, and if required we can head out towards the water in this direction, speaking to ATC. Did we lose an engine? I need an escape option. Of fixes for this one, so it's all RMP. MSA is 11,400. Quite a spicy departure. Our weight's pulled across, so we'll load it up now. It's over. 265 check. 314 check. Depth. Alternate 1.9's in. Is correct to Auckland. Go and pull the winds in. Currently predicting an extra half hour on arrival. I expect that to improve. Departure performance 05's try, be full length. We'll calculate it with packs on. Get them off. What's flaps 3? Let's see what it does. Flaps 1. Like that. 57. 32, 40, 40. And those over. Sensible. $63 tons, so yep, we're below maximum landing weight, so we can come straight back in if we need to. So it's a difficult airport to get straight back into with any ease, so want to be aware of. Okay. So we'll get this briefed up. It's going to be left-hand seat departure. Departing runway 05 today, so we're going to have a short taxi, but we need to backtrack to runway 05. No hotspots listed. Reading the restrictions. Advising 23 full length departure from 23, but we'll go in that direction, so full length definitely we want to be using. 5,830 foot runway. It's not the longest. Not seeing other hazards there though, in terms of actual routing. So engine out SID we touched on. I'm going to try and maintain a departure track, and we'll come across to the water to the south, where there's a clear gap in terrain, and liaise with ATC accordingly. We've got no ATC online today at the moment. But yeah, we should be okay to meet the climb gradient on one engine. But if not, we'll head across the water to the south of the airport. Safety until we get some decent altitude and above MSA 11,400, and we can consider options. Coming back here is an option. Weather is good. We're light winds, and we're below maximum landing weight, 1.5 tons. So, in terms of diversion, we could go to Christchurch as well if we needed to. So I'm going to be flying the ANPOV 4 Alpha RMP AR departure today. We've gone through the routes. First cleared altitude, so we're going up to 12,000 METAX. MSA is 11,400. We've got half an hour of extra fuel on arrival, so fuel's not an issue. And we've got diversion to Auckland in there. So obviously main threat today is the terrain. So a huge terrain risk today on departure. So we'll focus on terrain and meeting the RMP requirements. Making sure we're following that closely and tracking our departure without meeting the restrictions. We're on VATSIM, no other traffic around, so terrain's the next threat. We have a fully serviceable aircraft and no minimum equipment list items. Should anything change, we will rebrief. Any questions in chat? If not, we can get going. So a short runway, so we'll be takeoff minded today. Stopping for anything major. Any standard cautions, amber marshal cautions, and master cautions below 100 knots, and we'll stop for any flight control issues, thrust reverser unlock, or serious engine trouble above 100 knots. The V1, I will call stop. Other than that, we'll continue, and we will be takeoff preferred, a short runway. Right, I'm going to get the let's have a look outside. So what's going on out here? I'll get the AP. Another aircraft come on, excellent. Get another. So we'll get the. Always do that. I was just about to do that, wasn't I? Just get the old. Hopefully, it doesn't. Pretty good at knots. Using my FMS. Going so. Always catches me on the VSX. All in, balanced.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Queenstown traffic, New Zealand, 6004, push and start, stand to Queenstown. Okay, I think that's parking brake released. Chrono, was that not the park brake? I thought you said park brake. Parking brake not released. Missed that, I was on the radio. There we go, right, pushback direction. We'll go, let's have a look here. Yeah, we'll go nose or left, alright.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brake released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
So before start checklist, parking brake is released. Takeoff data we have confirmed. Windows are closed. Doors are armed. And the beacon we have on. Before start list checklist completes. Engine mode select starting engine 2.
To demonstrate the safety features of our Airbus A320 aircraft. Thank you. Gentlemen, welcome aboard our Airbus A320. Please pay attention to illuminated
Are we going in the grass?
and crew instructions, including the following safety. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes,
Going in the grass, chap.
life jackets, and the brace position, which you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin
Stop.
crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that exit may be behind you.
Engine 2 avail, starting engine 1.
Lighting will guide you
I should let it do its thing.
in an emergency. Leave all
Please
baggage
set
on
parking
board.
brakes.
Your seatbelt is fastened
Parking brake set.
and released as shown. It must
Nothing to
be
see here.
fastened whenever the seatbelt
Not GSX.
We recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. Air supply fails.
Oh dear. I need a bit of thrust, a bit of extra thrust to get out of there.
Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Hold the mask in place with the strap.
Muddy by alloys.
Put on
Unlocking
your
gear.
own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat. Remove from the pouch and put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust. Do
Classic
not
scenery, so this is the inner builds.
disconnect the aircraft.
Queenstown.
Inflate.
Excuse me on the grass, but space is limited.
Queenstown traffic, New Zealand, minor 06, push and start, stand number 4.
Better get out of here because he's
Must now be stowed.
blocking him. Right.
Armrest down.
After start checklists,
Open.
anti-ice not required. ECAM status is checked. Pitch trim.
Found in the in-flight magazine.
What do we got? Is set. Rudder trim is neutral after start checklist complete. The AP can come off. Out those arms. Terrain we definitely need on. Get that on now, and we'll get TARE on now as well. Short taxi. That'll get Corona on, just a bit of warm-up time and guidance. Flight control checks. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full down. Full up. Neutral and rudders. Right. Full left. Neutral. Queenstown traffic, New Zealand 604 is taxiing runways, backtrack runway 05, New Zealand, Queenstown. Alright, let's get the old Toby tracker sorted. Really cross-check the active runway in the real world for this one. Right, we're straight onto the runway zone, so let's just it's on, yeah, just the strobes and with that on as well. So nothing on TCAS. Approach is clear right side and clear left side. Or backtrack. My views up.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff.
Hello.
The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Thank you. See you in the cruise. This is where you need the Toby eye tracker. Short turning circle, this one. You want power on the opposite direction engine to the turn. The one in the on the inside of the turn will just work against you. Okay, we've got time, no traffic to affect, so we can have a quick scan. Evening Froster. Shut down a little bit while we're here. So we'll take packs off for this one. Should leave another 20 seconds for those valves to transition. There's our company traffic off. I think it's off to Auckland over there. So it's a case of keeping an eye on these restrictions for departure and getting out of this terrain. Excellent. Okay, I'm good to go. Takeoff. Amplex 57 SRS, auto thrust blue. Queenstown traffic, New Zealand 604, departing runway 05. For nuts. E1. Rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Nav. AP1. Lever climb, just waiting for positive trend. May not get that for a while because we've got to just coming in now. Thrust climb, auto thrust. That is close. Right, we'll get those off. And pack 2. Flaps.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Terrain, my control.
Terrain
we can
ahead.
disregard that.
Pull up.
Spurious flight sim issue. But we're not far off terrain. It's definitely a mountainous one. Very nice, very scenic.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Terrain, my control, disregard. So we're going to be good. We've got a 6,000 at the QN 849. 1,000 to go to that. We should be good. Keeping flaps 1 down. There's the airport over there. Winding our way out of the valley. That's a really nice departure. Some great sim flying down here if you want to give it a go. Not many places you can fly an A320 with views like that out of an airport. Landing light up. They met that first plus 6,000 restriction. We need to be below 11, so we'll start the next one, Lamac. A bit of moisture in the air here, engine anti-ice on. That's obviously going to impact climb performance a little bit, so keep an eye on that. Back overhead the airfield pretty much on this turn. Queenstown traffic, New Zealand 604s, overhead Lemmack, flight 11,000 feet on the Anpov 4 Alpha departure, Queenstown. Cross climb, so I just met that altitude constraint, come past Lemmack, continuing up. I'll have a look outside. Should be overhead the airfield, there it is. There's a collie pushing back down there. Winding our way up their terrain, so we're doing a full leap around this valley just to gain altitude. Speed up, star. So we need to be below, at or below 12,000. That's an ATC restriction, so we could climb above it. Which I think we will do. There's no reason terrain-wise we want to get up, so we don't want to be pinned down here. So we'll climb up. We might as well continue climb at level 330. Cross climb, open climb, and we'll pull standard now. About to pass transition. So 12.4 now, cross check 3 times. Okay, flap speed. Speed checks, flaps up. Finally leaving the airport. So we've been flying for a good 10 minutes and still in the still by the airport. Right, we're above icing conditions now, no moisture here. We'll just take those off and we're clear of mountainous winds and all the hard turning, so we can take the seatbelts off. We've got a stable flight here now. Cabin altitude is climbing. Where are we now? 17. Expected to be. Excellent. Have a quick look at flight radar to see what the landing runway in Wellington is going to be in the real world. These are real world ops. That's a good tip, so for anyone flying on VATSIM, I always make reference. If there's no ATC online, I'm always making reference to Flight Radar 24. So they are indeed landing runway 34 at Wellington, which is what we programmed. First time landing in Wellington as well, so we flew out of there on our way down to Queenstown a few days ago. Check out the live stream on that, the RMP approach there, and also check out the video I've done on the RMP approach that features Queenstown. It's a very good example of the RMP. Bit of snow on the mountains here. I mentioned this is where they filmed Lord of the Rings, down in the Southern Island of New Zealand. The scenery was used for that. So I've got nothing clear out in the VAD nav, and secondary is as set up for this flight. So you can take a look at the routing for this one. We're currently here, cracking up just to the west of Christchurch, cracking the coastline up on the Southern Island, and then over the water into Wellington. We do have Auckland as a diversion as well. Not so many large airports. I think we've got Queenstown, Christchurch, Wellington, Auckland are the major ones down here. I've really enjoyed the flying visit down here, away from European ops for a change, and trying some more challenging approaches and you know, different sceneries as well. So it's been very interesting. I do recommend Queenstown as a destination if you're planning a flight in the sim. Have guard on as well, VHF2, I'm on to that. Definitely a flight to be keeping an eye on the minimum safe altitudes. Got a peak here, so the highest peak in this area in our ND. In the bottom right, we've got the highest peak and the lowest level of terrain, and that's within your current set range. So if I was to reduce that to 40, you'll see this will probably change. There we go, 7,500 and 3,200. There is some high stuff around, and the highest peak being 10,200. MSA should be 1,000 above that, which means we can't get down to the safe altitude of 10,000 feet in a decompressurization, potentially. So it's definitely something to consider. So we're in a 10.5 MSA, which sort of checks. We're moving towards higher terrain, 11.3 and 14.7 in this sort of area on about 11.3, so it's picking up a bit, and along the coast here. Obviously the plan of action will be to clear terrain, will be to head towards the coast where we can. We're not far from it. Along it where we got an 11.6 MSA after Christchurch, so we're pretty close to the water. So that's where we want to aim to if we had to decompression. We had to get down towards the water and form air traffic control. So as nice as it looks, it is a problem to us. Always thinking about worst case scenarios, planning your escape. So we got the Flightbeam Wellington scenery we're heading towards. We departed inibuilds Queenstown, heading to Flightbeam Wellington. Both very good sceneries. Sounds like we're reaching our top of cruise. Yep, there we go. Mach Alt Star. Beat 0. Responded to all. Scan for our system pages. Excellent. $157 miles straight line to run. Optimum's 36. Eight 35. No ATC online. Kind of makes sense to do that. Let's climb open, climb flight level 350 blue. All quiet ATC wise down here in New Zealand. Hi Organ Aviator, how are you doing? Good evening to you. Yeah, good thanks. Good, thank you. All well here. Okay, so we're already closer to Christchurch than Queenstown. Just checking out the ETP there, so we'll do set up an ETP between Christchurch and Wellington to help us if we have any issues there. Hey Ender, how you doing? Joined a little bit late today. Yeah, you missed the RMP departure, which was very scenic from Queenstown, so you can go back and watch that. But definitely one I recommend flying. Queenstown, fantastic scenery. So, here were some winds. U6037. $70.46. Makes the ETP, equitime point, a lot more accurate. So for the next 138 miles, Christchurch is going to be our alternate. Otherwise it'll be onwards to Wellington. Hi, you're on with the GCSEs, Organ Aviator. An exam's 8 to go. Well, you know, best of luck with them all. I hope they, I hope you get some really good results. And you're going to spend some time sorting out that performance calculator you're coding. Okay, excellent. Looking forward to seeing how you get on with that one. I did see some of the students here in the UK. I think they were all signing each other's shirts, had their last days, and were only going back for the exams. I think that was last week. Organ Aviator, iOS or Android? Personally, I'm an Android person, but interestingly, I mean, YouTube gives me a lot of stats on how people watch my content, and I was quite surprised by this, but majority of them are using Android. So if that's anything to go by, the percentage difference between the two was about 20% plus on Android than iOS. So if you're targeting a market, I'd say based on that data, go for that. I was surprised by that. I thought iOS would be up there. So here's Christchurch coming up, so we're 40 miles out of Christchurch. Okay, you're from the Falkland Islands. Right, okay. A long way down, and you're on the waiting list for kidney transplant. Well, best of luck. I hope you successful with that, and you know, it all goes well. Getting set up for the arrival, so it won't be too far from Christchurch. So top of descent's coming up. When that ward, I don't know. 6 Alpha. Ward 3 Charlie, Ward 6 Alpha, that's the one. Okay. You have a restart your YouTube channel as well. Excellent. Yep, I suppose you've got to get all focused on the exams. Absolutely the priority, I guess. Walk an aviator, but yeah, why not? Give it a go. About 50 miles from top of descent at Corsair. You may see something of Christchurch. We'll have a look out the right side. 20 miles each time. Diversion. 173 miles straight to Wellington, so not too far. With looking at the arrival performance, 3-4. Oh, we should look at the weather. So we got winds at 36011 knots, visibility 10 kilometres or more, no cloud, temperature 7, and QNH 1005. So we'll get that in now. 1005, so that's the same as Queenstown, so that's in. I guess we can get once destination data. We're just about to do that. So we'll throw that in. The computers calculate our top of descent. (36011). We can find our minimums for 3-4 ILS. And yes, type rated on the A320 series in the real world. Currently fly the 319 and the 320. CEO and Neo. So look, approach. .450 RO. The quick reference tables in the FCOM too accurate for takeoff performance? Yes, they should be. I guess you're hungry for data in terms of, yeah, I suppose getting access to some of the data to be able to program a performance calculator will require realistically some friends in Airbus, I guess, but right, we're not too far from top of descent actually, so we can start to brief up. Okay, they're publicly available. I mean, yeah, it's I just get issued that stuff, so I don't look at it in the public spheres. But you probably have a good amount of information there to go at it. They haven't got it for RTO though. Right, let's brief up this approach then. Well, we're going to do our arrival performance first, won't we? We'll do that. So landing weights. We'll go. I'll base it on the current. It's a medium auto brake idle reverse, flaps full, seems sensible. What was the runway length here? Wellington, let's have a look. No, that was just shy of 6,000 feet, so yeah, it's another short runway. Seems longer than that, I have to say, but so we'll get medium auto brake and flaps full, so I won't change that. Approaching top of descent, so it's left hand seat arrival, flap config full, stop margin, we've calculated the performance for that, sufficient. We'll do idle reverse, medium auto brake, planned runway exit, we're going to be vacating right, potentially at hotspot 1, so we need to be aware of that crossing traffic at hotspot. Arrival is the Ward 6 Alpha, various restrictions and routes, and max 190 knots from Amaga. Be aware of. Split MSA zone 4,800, but for the landing 5,400. Go around trajectory is centerline, speed 185 knots, track 340. And then right turn to 352, track 352 from November Lima to mandatory 3,000 feet, expect radar vectors. So there's a terrain avoidance, go a missed approach. Stand at 3-degree glide slope, 3,000 feet platform altitude, 450 minimums, 1099 is our frequency, and we're at the top of descent, so we'll start bringing it down. Thrust idle descent, so no flight level 200 initially. 200 blue. It's asking for more drag, but we'll. So there we go. So we did pass Christchurch, but I'll look at that, didn't I? Well, some way back over there, I think. Unfortunately, missed it. Gabbling on. Fine for now on that. Let's have a look. So, go around to trajectory we discussed, and fuel. Fuel wise, we've got extra 3.1 tonnes, but the reserve's not knocked out, so reversed was 1.9 in there for Auckland. Gives us an extra 35 minutes at Wellington, so enough. It's a reasonably long missed approach because of the terrain issues on the mist, so reasonable to say it's another attempt at Wellington before we'd consider diversion to Auckland. Aircraft is fully serviceable, no non-standard operations. We are on VATSIM. I'll have a quick check of the map there. There's 2 aircraft inbound, them's us, but otherwise nothing I don't think is going to affect us at the moment. Anything changes, we can rebrief. Arrival briefing complete. Organ Aviator, yeah, your data harvesting, okay, trying to get as much information as possible. That's quite an interesting project to do. I'll be interested to see how you get on with that one. Only 135 feet above profile, which is fine. This is where we've got quite a high MSA along this part of the route though. Why is my flight plan line maybe that's moved? Right. So I've got a 11.6 MSA here, really high peaks along this this coast. What would I like to see in Flight Sim 2024? Well, I'm really keen to see how the new shared cockpit things work out. That would be really interesting. We could do online type rating courses, couldn't we? Airbus cockpit coach, type ratings, shared cockpit. Actually, quite a few people have asked me for that, so I wouldn't mind doing some of that and flying with some other people, so that would keep it interesting. And I think it's the flight dynamics is a big thing. It's come a long way, but there's a few flight dynamic issues, I think, and weather radar as well. That'd be nice. Brings a bit more realism. Little things, but more traffic. That's just little things for me. I'm kind of worried it might go too far in a different direction. And I suppose you have to be conscious that otherwise you look at things like that spy and you see loads of people flying about. That number of people representing, you know, the real airliner world is actually still a small part of what Flight Sim is. A lot of people just jumping in and playing, and they're also giving the market to meet, you know, the appetite for that as well. So it does run the risk of going in a different direction. Interesting balance they got to have of keeping everyone happy. Have I ever used X-Plane? I have done, but it's been very limited, to be honest. Since Flight Sim 2020 has arrived, it's just for the graphics really, and the realism of the scenery. I've stuck with it. It has, looking back over the last or so years now, it's really come a long way. It's quite frustrating to start with, you know, the crashes and all the issues and not having A-Ware level aircraft. And shared cockpit flights sound interesting. Yeah, that'd be something a bit different. I mean, you can do that now. You'll have to use that with your control, but it's a little bit limited, so only one person can use the FMS at a time. Do I accept flight suggestions? Of course, yep. Anything. Do sometimes put the odd community post out on the flight suggestions. 150 blue, just keeping us down. Yeah, it's the combination of the both they want, really, isn't it? Organ Aviator. It's the challenge. Little things like ground effect, and I need to get and do some circuits. I need to go and take the Fenix back around the circuit and see if I notice any difference in the flight dynamics. So I did that not long ago on a live stream, and I'll have a good reference to that to Sim Update 15 now. Crosswind behaviours and so forth. I might just throw a crosswind in, have a play with it. Yeah, I do. Heathrow, Warsaw, no problem. And I think I might even have the Warsaw scenery installed. I've definitely got inibuilds Heathrow as well. Might even be able to. Might even do that next. Could do BA ops. Yeah, no problem, I'll get that done. Punta Arenas, Chile to Mount Pleasant, Falkland Islands. Okay. I'm guessing they're both. I know Mount Pleasant takes in the 330, doesn't it? So it's Punta Arenas. Is that capable of a 320? Never checked that one out. Doing that route as a collaboration with another YouTuber around the 21st of June. Okay. How long is it, Organ Aviator? Is it a couple of hours? Is it a short hop over? What's the scenery like? I'm guessing it's quite an interesting part of the world to fly in. Okay, so pretty short hop, but I really want to do around the world. I need to just I'd like to do that, a little around the world tour. Oh, Streamlabs has told you off, Aviation. Sorry about that. I'm sure you were posting something. It's just set to links off. I'll have to adjust those settings down. It's being strict. Although it's some way sensible. Some people do come on and post all sorts. Difficult to get the balance right with moderation, I guess. Right, speed up star. Let me just continue down really to take it to level 100. Level 100 blue. Yeah, it's a possibility, Organ Aviator. Generally everyone's pretty well behaved, I have to say, so it's not really an issue. It's right, we're leaving the South Island behind us. We've got the short hop over the water. We can see the North Island just coming into view ahead. And do you disengage the auto throttle when disengaging the autopilot on approach? You can do either, so most of the time we'll leave the auto throttle on because the auto throttle does a great job generally on the Airbus. and in terms of reducing your workload, it's a great tool, and it handles gusts and with ground speed mini. That's a very good tool. H1005, set and cross check 3 times, 12.5. But yeah, we can. Well, sometimes we go manual as well, so it's just a case of it's pilot preference, really. What you would do if disconnecting, you'd pull the throttle back until you match the current thrust setting with this blue donut, and then you disconnect. You don't get a surge in thrust or a sudden loss of thrust. So you match the current power setting that the engine's on. On approach, that would be about 55% N1. $8,000 blue. Changes to our weather. Indeed there is 106. 0208, 8 degrees. Have I ever been on holiday to New Zealand? No, I have not. Only in flight sim. That's actually a place I'd like to go and visit. Yeah, I'm on VATSIM, or on Aviation. It's a bit lonely. Yep, no traffic or controllers to affect our approach today. I got tired of arguing with beyond ATC. I've seen that Wellington can be. I've seen a few things on YouTube. Real world stuff, people landing in Wellington in the wind, but yeah, there's lots. I mean, you can, in the sim you have the benefit of making any airport windy. Yeah, beyond ATC. I think give it time. Get it. Get the traffic part in. I think it'd be good. I'm holding out for beyond ATC. I haven't given up on it. I've just been a bit lonely on it. There's no other traffic on the radio, but I guess New Zealand's not the best place to come and experience that either. I need to be back in somewhere like Heathrow, but we'll do that at Heathrow, Warsaw. Maybe even tomorrow. No, maybe not tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. Right, so keep coming down. Idle descent. Yeah, widescreen monitor, Organ Aviator. Which is a challenge with streaming.
Cabin crew must now proceed for landing. Thank you.
It certainly seems smooth, Ender. And it, you know, it just seems a bit more stable. It's if you're watching on a phone, you can just pinch it in though. It's seems to fit alright, but it's kind of the best I could do it for. I've been playing around with it. Yeah, it's a nuisance. Right, we're shooting this one a bit fast. Distracted. I'll have to go out and back in from the other side for this one. I levelled off at 8,000 feet for a bit there. I might do it. Might just do it. We are a bit fast though. Airfield's off to our left. Seeing all my checks chatting away. Speed checks flaps 1. Cabin crew, seats for landing please, seats for landing. Lockstar, the glide slope.
2,500.
Jack. Go around altitude, 3,000 is set. The free beeps, the free clicks is mode reversion, so it's one of your FMAs downgrading on here. Flaps 2, speed checks, flaps 2. Lock. And gear down. So window left of nose. Wellington traffic, New Zealand 604, final runway 34, Wellington. Flaps 3, checks flaps 3. And all the way through, flaps full.
1,000.
Check. 135 is about 130. I don't know here. 6. go around altitude 3000 set. Cabin insecure. Landing memo. Cam memo landing. No blue. Autopilot's coming out. Cat 1. My control.
Above 500. Minimum.
Continue. The headwinds shifted to right on nose.
Flight slow.
40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Reverse. Spoilers, diesel. 70 knots. Manual braking. Tiny runway. Okay, Alpha 3. Okay, left side, clear right side. Wellington traffic. New Zealand 604 has vacated runway 34. Taxi to the gates. Okay, let's clean up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls, or internet access may now be used. Please make sure you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care opening the overhead lockers as items may have moved.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a headwind on there.
Smoking is not permitted.
Which can cause you to float.
Designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your journey.
Right, where should we park? They're right here. This is Flightbeam, Wellington. RMP and RNAV, basically it's the monitoring you need on the equipment to conduct the approach. So it's the system's ability to tell you if there's a degradation, and the RMP can require higher levels of accuracy in a number of cases. Other than that, they're not too dissimilar, but it basically limits the aircraft capable of conducting those approaches. Hey, marshaller today. What are we going with it? APU, did we? Funny, if you're flying in the sim, you're so used to flying too crewed. Cause naturally someone else to do all your flows, so this, in some ways, it does mess me up flying in the sim. Ender, glad you enjoyed it. Oh, it's quite a short hop, quite a good one though, but quite scenic. Temperature drop on the APU. It'll come alive. There we go. Where's Air? Thanks for the sub. There's the drop. Right. File. Master's off. Which replay flight? I think it's just the straightforward flight recorder. It's called. Although I didn't activate it today. Just remember that. I remembered it as we touched down. I thought, oh no, no replay. Unfortunately, so sorry about that. So it's actually even on my checklist. Recording. There we go. Right, parking checklist. Radar and predictive wind shear. We have off. Parking brake is on. Although we've got chocks, we can take it off. Engines are off. Exterior lights
Passengers bus
are as required. Fuel pumps are just turned off. We haven't used the electrical hydraulic pump. Parking checklist complete. Yeah, the stairs are a bit. Well, could have had something, shouldn't we? It's actually a nice scenery though. I do like this one. And yeah, we should have the APO on. The reason being, if you get onto stand. One reason they won't necessarily have the ground power available. So if you want to shut the engines down, you need a source of power. So, and obviously they can't approach the aircraft until the engines are off. So it's a little bit of a gap there. So you want the APU for that. Also, in the event of a tailpipe fire, would have to crank the engines. So in shutdown, you can get a bit of residual fuel in the engines, and we need high pressure air. Turning the engines on crank or manual start to basically fire a load of air through the engine to dry those fumes out and put the fire out. That's another reason why we have the APU when arriving on stand available. Probably could do a little video on that. Excellent. Well, I enjoyed that. I hope you did. Thanks for joining me this evening. We'll get another flight in, probably back in Europe. The next one, doing some more 320 ups. Yeah, I'll try and get that the Warsaw one done. That'd be interesting. I've been there quite a lot in the real world as well, so I think I even have that on my schedule coming up somewhere. Poland or somewhere anyway is on my schedule coming up. In the real world. Excellent, appreciate the company. enjoy the rest of your evening's chats, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Go on, Ender. What's the last question? You can fly managed speeds for the whole flight essentially. So yeah, but ideally you want to be on before the approach. If you're flying you fly managed speed down on auto thrust. So yeah, but you can fly the whole flight in managed speed if you want to. So as early as possible if you're planning to use it for the approach to get things aligned, and certainly before speed restriction when you're operating the perf page and setting that up into final lap mode. You definitely want it on. So yeah, it's obviously you can fly it on manual thrust as well, but yeah, for most of the flight today we've only had managed speed on for the whole flight today, so it's been used for the whole flight. Hope that helps. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Take care.